Good morning, mystics. Oh man, what a journey this has been. This unfolding of the magician has become really drawing us inward and reminding us that our journey here is to become the mystic. And that esoteric knowledge and intelligence flows through this acknowledgement that we are mystics and that we are, there's a couple ways to get there, like we talked before. So one's through science and one's through mysticism. And sometimes they cross. Those pathways will cross oftentimes. So just know that we are on this path. This is our cosmic destiny is to realign with our divinity. I know. I've had a few nights being awakened by spirit. Had some phenomenons, spiritual experiences happening over here at this place. So anyway, it's drawn me a little bit deeper. So just know today might feel a little bit more esoteric. All it is asking you to do is to draw you in and to know yourself. And so we're crossing some of the boundaries right now, so that we can really own our divinity through love and to really begin to create the magic here that we're intended to be, these mystical, magical beings with physical bodies. So just know that it's the word super sensible world, and that's described by Rudolf Steiner. So he has written about mysticism and esoteric knowledge of the world through both the mysticism and the science. So just know that if you want to read some of his readings, he has lots of books. It's well published. And there's still, I think, groups out there that practice his understanding of spiritualism. So as we begin we were moving into the experience of self-love, remembering that it feels like a simple action, but as we start to dive into it, we can see some of the barriers that we have, our limitations, or past experiences or traumas that have blocked us emotionally. So I hope that you're all doing okay on this journey. I know that I've had some magic happening just by studying and opening to the possibilities. That's all it takes, is that awareness, that awakening. Then we can begin to nurture. So just knowing that when we move into this place, we're reflecting the surfaces of the soul. So if you think about the soul's reflection, and I think we only get glimpses of it because it's hard for the soul to fully manifest in our physical being because we are both. So, and we have given more authority to our physical reality, and so that being, we're beginning to evolve where we can begin to find the balance between the human and divine. So as we begin, you'll begin to feel these reflections of the soul through mystical experiences. And so anyway, as you begin to experience the soul, it can feel illusionary or dreamlike, maybe even like a little bit crazy if you shared it with anybody. So just know that that's when we are stepping into those non-ordinary states. When these soul experiences are like a story, oftentimes we're left without any proof. So we feel a little bit, it feels not so real to us. It can feel like, did that really happen? Or how do I even explain what happened? Because there's no proof in what we've been experiencing. Only a place in humanity experiences soul we experience it like an individual, like a mystical experience. So all of us are experiencing it a little bit different, but we're seeking this knowledge. That self-knowledge is the soul's experience. And this is the play. So if we begin to be playful, the playful mystic, it's like a thin wall is lifted which is not permanent. It's not like a permanent unveiling, though. So, like, once we get in and then we come back out into the physical world, we're like, oh, how do I get back in there? So we begin to find ways to do that. Oftentimes, we can do it through our dream world. We can do it through meditation, practices of yoga. Oh, there's all kinds of ways we do it, through our art, through creativity, through the imagination. So when we move through this and we open those veils, we're seeking this knowledge, self-knowledge, that soul's experience. And this thin veil is lifted, which is not a permanent unveiling, which leaves us feeling sometimes, in doubt, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe sometimes I just feel super excited, like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. And then, but it gives way to clues in our outer world so that we can continue to move and manifest in this world of the senses. So this veil is like a portal through consciousness. So what, it just, you'll begin, even though you might not be able to prove it to someone, you'll just continually see signs and symbols through your outer experiences that will allow you to feel validated by your experience. One question that the mind, one of the questions is, does the mind hold the phenomenon, or is it not able to come and manifest in this dimension? So there's lots of questions, and so just keep pushing for some kind of knowledge, because there's a flow of intelligence in this dimensional world that we're opening to. And beings don't cross into this dimension. What inner experiences seem really abstract. So how does it manifest in one's world of the senses, this 3D reality? And then the other question is, do they cross each other do the dimensions cross each other? So some people believe that there's these parallel lines that all time can cross. So that's something for you to explore and to experience. So once we have the experience, it feels like there's this knowledge or understanding that just flows through us. Sometimes it's hard to give meaning or words sometimes, but it's just this knowing, something that we really know from the inside. One time I was given the message from my daughter Abby, the dragon. So this dragon, I worked with the dragon energy, and it's once again come into my world of senses again. So I'm beginning to work with it. And so what I found with the dragon, it is definitely the symbol of mystery, the mystery. So we're moving into this magic, and then we're moving into this mysticism. So as we move through this, Abby moves through this physical death, leaving the world behind, but opening and birthing beyond her physical limitations. So the symbol of the dragon brings forth the mystery and expands the life of the mystic. So sometimes I'm like, can the dragon come into this world, or do I have to cross over to meet the dragon? So at this point in my life, I have to open that portal willingly, using my will, using my practice of meditation, and using my esoteric knowledge and those pathways that I have opened through meditation and through study and through self-knowledge and self-love, and that I can meet the dragon there. So my question is, when it is the dragon, and I'm using the word dragon, but there's lots of evidence of angels and mystical creatures, unicorns, all kinds of things that are guides, people that maybe have died on the other side. So are they able to cross over this boundaries? Because we are finding that we are able to open those portals and move into a non-ordinary state of consciousness and experience those realms through experience. So just lots of things to begin to think about. And as we cannot openly have proof of this, sometimes it makes it feel a little bit like maybe it's not real, a little bit crazy, like what's going on. but we can find proof all around us, and especially with those that have come before us. So there's lots of literature, there's movies, there's lots of spiritual groups, meditation groups that can help support this energy that you're tapping into. So that you don't feel so alone in it, because our inner experiences are definitely that of unique to ourselves. So as we cannot openly share and have proof, the proof that we have is love is still gives us the experience of the senses. So love, it's all in the love, the power of love. So as power gives away to our soul and takes this abstract knowledge and transcends the barriers of both worlds to lift the veil, to prevail without a contrived notion of proof, but the knowledge held close in its discovery, self-knowledge, to know thyself and becoming the mystic. The dance of the dragon transcends the barriers of the mystic. So without love, think of a world without love. That would, I can't even imagine it. So what is a world without love? No. So love is the key. It is what makes this world spin. It's what makes us alive and creative. So the mystic, the magic comes from love. To love yourself is it's the price of admission to the school of mysticism. So though to concede to love seems simple, like a simple task. Does seem like a simple task. You say, well, love yourself, and people just all right, yeah, whatever. But if you look around, there are many ways to support this through books, movies, romantic love, religious love, self-help books. There's all kinds of ways to begin to understand and let this it has its own intelligence, and it lifts the vibration in a way that is hard to describe or how to even go about it. But you are the mystic on this path to unfolding your own mystery. So, and this pendulum will constantly swing between fear and love. So know when you're on this path, sometimes the fear can feel overwhelming. Just remember that you have protectors there, and bring in the light and return to love. And as this unfolds into the expansion, the burden of proof continues. So the human condition falls short in that simple act of love. Because if we had the proof, everyone would our whole planet would be spinning with love. But we still question it, and we knock ourselves around back into fear all the time. So just know that we're uncovering those shadowy sides of ourselves, and we're shedding the light on it. We're beginning to know it, own it. So it's about knowing yourself, knowing where that came from. Where was that first experience? Oftentimes it's when we were a child, or even I found through the work that I do, I work with clients. Sometimes people bring things from past lives, and we continually repeat over and over. So this is the time to know yourself. We don't want to be in those holding patterns. We want to begin to evolve those experiences. This pure essence of the inner experience falls short in convincing our world. Just like I said, if we were all living in a world of love and unfolding, we'd have much more evidence of that balancing between these two worlds. So, and what happens is not only do we move that pendulum from fear to love, but we also have judgments. We judge other people and we doubt ourselves. All these external sources keep us from sharing or even being convinced of our own experiences. So we must be aware of the doubt. We must be aware of our own inner self-worth, because the self-worth is fragile in such expressions of the soul. So the mystic holds deep these inner experiences, not only on a personal level, but those experiences of others. This is why it's really important to form a community, spiritual groups to share, whether it's through, like I said, we can find that through actual groups of people to share, or to continue to read the stories of elders, find play with children. This is the evolution. This is like an evolutionary turn of humanity to remove all those physical limitations we put on ourselves. So just remember, find some support out there for your experiences, because otherwise it can really begin to feel unsupported by your everyday reality. And we really want to root this energy into the earth. She really is here to help us manifest this so it becomes more balanced with our everyday life. So make sure you're rooting all these experiences in. You can write, you can read, you can study. There's so many ways. You can, breathe, go to meditation or yoga, all kinds of ways to support yourself when you're having these, when we're moving into this esoteric wisdom that's flowing through us. So love is the key, the higher love, to know thyself. And you begin to know yourself as this mystic or this divine energy, and to begin to see others and know that your soul's reflection is in the world of the senses. So back to the dragon and angels and guides and dimensional layers, it seems as these forces are not bound to the physical world. So still know that they are not bound by physical barriers, but they are indeed, like the dragon, bound by the maybe bound by other concepts besides love. So love is the highest vibration of our planet, but when we move into these different dimensional worlds, there seems to be some barrier that they're not just allowed to move into the space of our physical senses. That's why the veil is removed at times, where people do see angels and other beings, the dimensions kind of lifted. But for all practical purposes, we, most of us do not. So just know that it's like our choice, our will, that we are given on this planet we can move through those barriers and open them. So it's our responsibility to penetrate those higher concepts of love and energy. So know that your movement, your will, and your awareness, and your awakening to that is what will move into those higher realms of energy and higher realms of intelligence. So as the mystic awakens, the magician stirs life into miracles and magical events here. So nothing prevents the activation of living a soul-based life on this planet. So begin it. Know it to be true. And we will attempt to merge the soul's expression into a non-ordinary state of consciousness of the world of the ordinary and the physical. Remember, the key is love, self-love, self-knowledge. Open the book of the non-ordinary. Be the witness to a life full of love. Find your spiritual family. We can practice this through meditation, dreams, breathwork, prayer, the development to experience oneself as a true mystical being. Beautiful. So thankful for your attention today. I hope everything's going well on this path of opening the magician. Man, it's sending me lots of places, lots of portals and veils are thinning all around me while I practice this opening. And I've been studying, a lot of old teachers and old books, opening them back up and finding really valuable information and where we're headed. Thank you. Love you all out there. Let me know how it's going. We'll talk soon. The Magician, series number 5.